Um, so there's a bunch of stuff I was thinking about, but I just want to kind of put this out there too. Is the things I talk about are the things from as when I was younger. I always believed in God. I never doubted it, or anything that was supernatural and metaphysical, because they were talking to me when I was a little kid, and I didn't know that they weren't to everybody else. I thought we were all having the same thing. So I never doubted any of that stuff. But there was a lot of stuff along my path that I did doubt, like religion and stuff like that. So I was always exploring alternative belief systems and philosophies, and trying to understand, because I didn't completely align with what I was being told. And so it's about that exploration. And when you are in that arena, you follow what you are drawn to and what resonates with you. You will be led by what you are searching, say, that is, because the stuff that came to me, I knew it was true, but it was being targeted as anything metaphysical and stuff. Everything about people who believed in any of that stuff, they were crazy, don't listen to them. And people who go by their feelings and stuff like that, there's something wrong with them. So all of us were kind of just set aside, kind of crazy. This is what you're supposed to believe. So I learned a lot of stuff along that whole experience, and in the information that I was indulging in. And and that was metaphysical stuff. It was stuff about reincarnation, about what happens after you die, about ghosts and spirits. I've lived in haunted houses and stuff. So I was more exploring what people didn't believe in. And then, and that got me into the whole thing with the disclosure groups and aliens and stuff like that, was through that exploration. But then, through my life journey or pattern, or whatever you want to call it, for my life experience for this life, was to go through crisis, and then to heal and receive enlightenment. It's a journey to receive enlightenment. So, but it starts somewhere. Most people, it starts where it's pain and suffering. Something pushes you into it, like what happened to me. And that's why you have so many people right now who are speaking out about it, because we were all transformed by some significant situation that happened in our lives that set us into a new journey of consciousness. So that is what I try and share also about, is that transformation, how you can do it by transforming yourself. And the reason that I do talk about it and stuff is because this thing that's happening around us, there's so much misinformation about it, and people are so focused on the three-dimensional aspects of what's happening. But the reason it's biblical is because this is a huge spiritual transformation. This is cosmic change. This is the changing of an age, is leaving this old paradigm. That's why everything's blowing up. That's why everything's falling apart. It's leaving that. And that's why everybody is going through one crisis after another. It's because the universe is giving you this opportunity to look at yourself. It's self-evaluate. Understand yourself. This is your opportunity to grow as a soul, to expand. So all of that stuff is happening. And, through the... I would think through my trust more of myself than the system early on in my life, and with the knowledge and the understanding of a lot of different aspects and stuff, that I know this for myself. And I'm not trying to convince anybody else. I put my messages out there because I know there's other people that are going to hear me, and it's going to resonate. They're going to be like, oh, they're going to get it. It will help pull them out of this illusion that has got them trapped in this mind control. So, you know, I'm not trying to shove my beliefs down anybody's throat, you know, but there is a different, I kind of think a more unique perspective that I have through my experience, and that also gives me the responsibility during this kind of pivotal time in mankind to share that, to help others grow. And, you know, I mean, that's a karmic cycle, you know, that is me doing a completion. So the reason that I would be doing that and be so driven to do that is because it's a completion in a soul cycle. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about is the stuff with the soul cycles. Because I was telling somebody yesterday something about that, and they asked me some questions, and it was like, I don't really know how to explain that. But my guys always tell me, they'll let me know. So then they told me, and they explained it more to where I felt like I could understand. And so, you know, I'm sure there's lots of people that are explaining it all different ways and stuff like that. But this is how I'm going to explain it, because this is what I was shown. So you just think about like a Nazi soldier, and you know, they went through that life. Then after those lives, you know, they have to go through different aspects of those situations. Well, and this is a closing of certain cycles in the soul cycle stuff. And so when those people have, so say the Nazi soldier is come back now, but the Nazi soldier are the ones who are feeling this the hardest. They're being hit the worst. That they are experiencing it on such a deep level, because it's for that soul to come full circle. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, every single person who's going through this now and is being hit the hardest, that's why they're being hit the hardest. That's not what I'm saying. There's no, you know, that's why you can't get a hold of labeling, and there's no define, whatever the word would be. That's why there's no good or bad. There's no definitive. There's no absolute. It's all variable. It's the whole thing. It's all variable and versatile. So you can't just say, okay, this person is this and that's it. I'm just giving you an explanation, a visual, a way to understand it. So then that soul, they went through that experience, that whatever their soul, it was very complex for each one. It wasn't just a set thing. So what that soul went through, and then they come back to do the full circle. So they're on the other side. They experience it from the other side, because that completes that for that soul. Then that soul has the view, the whole view. This is the graduation. That's why there's so many soul cycles that are completing right now for the ascension. And there's so many people, like what I've said for myself when I started hearing this stuff about the Atlantis and the Lemurians and stuff, and the people who were here a long time ago, how they are back here to complete a soul cycle. That is what I have been, you know, when I heard that stuff, it was like, yes, I knew exactly. And so you think about that one. Then you think about like the people who are being the most, let's see. So the people who are the most affected, now I went off on that other thing. So the people who are being most affected people the most in that one, in a different way. So it just kind of flips. So that is why, you know, you have so many people right now, and you can see them as being like, you know, what, they've gone off their rocker. Like, what the hell has happened to this person? I never even knew they were such a bully or such a jerk. So, you know, this is, you're seeing them before they've seen themselves. But they're going to see themselves, because that's what this is all about. This isn't about Armageddon. This isn't about the end of the world and all that stuff. This is an opportunity for soul cycle completion, a graduation. You can see how much people need to wake up to this three-dimensional experience to break free so that they can. And it's about this connection to your soul, you know? So all of these different people who went through one experience during that time are here experiencing it in the opposite of that time, for the whole completion for their soul. So they went through, they understand it, they're back to complete it. It's done. The chapter's closed. That soul, that information that soul was going to retain from those experiences was completed. It's a soul completion. So that's why there's so much of that going on right now for the ascension. It's an opportunity to expand, to grow from that. It's an opportunity. Like, there's certain times how planets and stuff align that promote certain different ways of soul growth or soul experience. So those things, you know, your soul understands that stuff. Even though there's people here who are so confused and they don't understand. But that's the whole thing about, like, right now, so many people are going through so much stuff. Their lives are falling apart. And, you know, they're going through their own cycles. They're going through their own stuff. It's for their own stuff, for them to learn from this experience. And, you know, what I keep seeing in all of these things is this opportunity, really, to have trust and faith, or to just give in to the system. When you have trust and faith, you don't have to figure out, like, yeah, but how am I going to eat? Where am I going to get money? What am I going to do? I'm forced into it. I have to do what they say. Or you can just go within and trust God, and to have faith that everything's going to be okay. You will be taken care of. And yeah, some people will die, but that was always when they were going to die. And death isn't the end, it's a transition. And we're going to transcend, we're going to ascend into a higher place where we can interact with those people again. It's not going to be the same as here. It's a complete shift in realities. So that's why you have to release that reality that they're trying to keep you captured in, because it's a shift in realities. So, you know, there's so many people right now who are struggling so hard, but that is what it is for your soul, is to figure out, to trust or to give in. And that is what that's what I call the come to Jesus moments. It's when everything is in full crisis. Where are you going to turn to? You got to turn inside. You got to go inside. You got to listen to yourself. You got to connect with yourself so that you can understand, you know, and feel safe. You feel safe. You know, it's their system that makes you feel scared and fearful. When you turn inward, it's peaceful, it's safe, you know, all is fine. There is no end. You are eternal. So, you know, they want to keep you all scared, and, you know, because it keeps you cut off from yourself, because you find peace when you connect with yourself. So the stuff I talk about, you know, is all from the things I've learned along my journey that has been, you know, I've always been on my own path. It wasn't a path, but, you know, it was a more defined thing, you know, like you were a Christian and you were a Baptist and you were you know what I mean? And I didn't fit into those things. So, and then ended up getting a brain injury and losing everything that I thought I had been working so hard for, this future that was taken away from me. My whole identity was taken away from me. So, you know, and having it heal, and what I had to go through with that stuff, and how, you know, it leads to enlightenment. And enlightenment is that connection, to yourself, to more than what you are. It's realizing you're not just this little ego-driven body down here. And that's the other thing I want to talk about that they showed me that I found interesting. So I want to explain it, kind of how they were showing me, and see if I can get it. So I'll be right back.